Hello. Happy Tuesday, guys. How you doing? Hope you're all doing good out there. It's a chilly night here in Nebraska. I'm not gonna lie. Holy moly. Hoodie on, and I brought a winter coat too, because it's really chilly now, and as the sun sets a little bit more, it's gonna get really chilly. But guys, excuse me. If you're getting on here with me live, and you'll know you're live with me if you can see a red live up in the corner, I'd love it if you would type live in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're catching me later on, it'll say was live up there. That just means you're catching Facebook's replay, and that's great. Just type replay in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. My name is Jan. I live in southeast Nebraska, and I love sharing our low carb lifestyle, little tips, tricks, ideas along the way. And anything that I can to bring a more natural approach to life. Now, we are at the ballpark tonight. The grandsons have ball games tonight. We haven't caught, I think this is maybe the second game we watched. They've been playing for several weeks already now. But, yeah, I should have picked a warmer night, not gonna lie. But, I love sharing things like this in a group, another page on Facebook. It's called Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. And that group is a private group, and you have to request to join, because I don't know if you guys have all seen I call them bots. I don't know if they're real people or not real people, but when they come on there with their smooshy wooshy inbox me stuff, I just don't want those types of people or bots, those types of accounts, I guess, in my group. So I locked it down just to kind of keep it quiet. But you can request to join that group, guys. If you are looking for recipes or ideas or just motivation for a more natural, healthy type life, I'd love to have you join us over there. Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. He's out there watching the game, but he is my reason that I started that, guys. Dave is diabetic. We struggled for a lot of years trying to get a hold of his numbers and everything else. And then one day, a friend of mine shared a simple duo that we use every day. It's a supplement. Turned our lives around, okay, guys? Absolutely turned our lives around. Craving control like you can't believe, which leads to a lot of other healthy things. Balances out the hormones in your body, and when your body's working the way God intended it to, good things happen. Weight loss, mental clarity, less grouchiness, able to handle the stress. Those are just a few things that we've gotten. If any of those sound interesting, drop info in the comments and I'll talk to you about those duos. But on to my group, okay? I started that group after we were having success because the duos pair so well with so many lifestyles, ketos, low carb, gluten-free, all kinds of lifestyles, okay? We are not gluten-free and we are not dairy-free. So a lot of my recipes do have those items in them, but there's still a natural, we like, whole natural foods, if that makes sense. So guys, like I was saying, if you're getting on here with me live, please let me know you're out there. I'm not even sure I'm getting out, okay? Anyway, so tonight it's a home game, so we don't typically travel too much with them anyway, but so I kind of, when I'm making my menus for the week, I do make menus for an entire week. I look at our schedule and I'm like, okay, the boys are both at home this night. We'll probably go down to the game. So I decide to put something on the menu that is really easy to fix. So tonight it was, I'm going to call it a hot dog, but it's a homemade hot dog from a local meat market here in town. Wonderful. Mwah. Great hot dogs, okay? All natural casing, the whole nine, okay? So great. Hey, Nancy, thank you for saying you're live. I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing, too. I appreciate that. I love it when people share out the information, okay? So, what we did was, because the games start so soon after I'm done, Dave just heated up the hot dogs at home. He puts them in an insulated container, and we brought them down to the ballpark, and we're sitting here eating them. Hey, Cheryl. Hello. So And if you caught me live, I think one day last week, I believe. Hey, Judy. Hi, Mary Ann. It is awfully chilly here. So thank you, Judy, for sharing. I made a rhubarb salsa. It was amazing. Okay. So I made another batch of that over the weekend. Hey, Michelle. And it's been in the fridge. So I told Dave, I said, we'll just do hot dogs. And if you caught my live last night, I had some hot dog buns that I made, keto hot dog buns, bought ones that I made into garlic bread for supper. And I still had some hot dog buns at home. I don't always eat my hot dogs on a bun, but tonight it sounded good because what I did, guys, is I brought along my rhubarb salsa and I put it on the hot dog for relish. How awesome is that? Hey, Sarah, how are you? So, great. I love it. The flavor is amazing. Okay. So now we came prepared, and that is always a great idea. You can control then what your intake is. And that's the biggest issue with any kind of lifestyle. Hi, Nancy. You need to feel like you're in control. Okay. Now, if you were to get to a ball game, okay, I was going to do this live outside and I actually was going to go down to the concession stand, but it is so windy here. I'm afraid all you guys would get would be the wind noise going over my microphone. Hi, Sandy. How are you? So I decided I was just going to kind of touch on if you get to a ball game, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, whatever, soccer, you name it. Almost all of those places have a concession stand, okay? How do you manage a concession stand if you're on a low carb to keto type diet or whatever, and you get there and you're not prepared? Like I came prepared with my meal. I knew what was going to happen. I knew we were coming. So I came prepared, okay? Or maybe you can't carry in your food. Maybe that's the issue too. Hi Christine, how are you? Most concession stands have hot dogs, okay? Now, they aren't going to have a keto bun. And all you have to do, guys, is order the hot dog without the bun. You can put the ketchup on it. You can put the relish on it. Ketchup is kind of, I'm not going to lie. And sweet relish is questionable. Hey, Bev, but mustard is a definite yes you can have. Ketchup, they do like to hide a lot of sugars in them. If you go light on it, you'd be okay for one time, okay? The relish is Fitz dill relish, and you can tell the difference by smelling it or whatever, okay? Hamburgers are another thing that typically a lot of times they will have. There again, order it without the bun. If you want to put onion on it or something like that, go ahead. And even with the hot dog, you could put onion on it. Those types of things, jalapenos, all those types of things are a great option to just go ahead and order. And then, you just eat it without the bun. Sometimes too, they'll have like nachos or something like that. Now, a few corn chips, guys, in a pinch are better than other options. I mean, obviously you don't want to go in there and have a candy bar or, something like that, but just check the menus, guys. Popcorn is not a bad option. Popcorn kind of upsets my tummy sometimes because it seems like if you eat one kernel, I eat the whole bag. But, those are the types of things. Now, something that, like the cheeses and stuff like that, even though they're not whole, hard cheeses, it's, you know what? An order of nachos, and sometimes they'll do like sloppy nachos or loaded nachos where they're going to put actual meat and stuff like that on it. You can get tomatoes, lettuce, all that. That's not a terrible option. And the few chips that you're going to get in there are, if you're starving Marvin though, go ahead and do something like that. It's not a Snickers bar. It's not whatever. And most places always have good old H2O, guys, to drink. I don't drink any soda anymore. Dave still does enjoy some of those diet ones, even though I have a hard time with them. I give him a hard time every time he has one, because it's like, dude, you really shouldn't have that. And he's like, I know I really shouldn't have it. But, once in a while is not a horrible thing. But that's where you have to weigh out you, okay? And that's what we do with him is, we kind of know from what he's eaten in the past how it's going to affect his blood sugars. If it's something we've never had before, then we kind of have to think, is it worth the risk? We don't have, whatever, those types of things. So that's something to think about. But the best thing you can do is set yourself up for success and plan in advance and take with you what you need, okay? Hot dog and relish. Hey, that's a great thing. And a lot of the truck stops, guys, if you're headed somewhere and you can stop at something like that, a lot of the truck stops do some really great food. You might even be able to buy hard-boiled eggs there. We were at a place over the weekend that had cheese and salami sandwiches. There was no bun on it, guys. None at all. It was two pieces of cheese with hard salami in the middle. I don't remember what they called it. A cheese witch, I think was what they called it. Great option. I mean, full of protein, and why not? And at the price of them, I actually picked it up and we were talking about it. Hi, Debbie. We were talking about it because I said you could grab 2 of these, and I think they were like $2.99 for one of them, and they were nice size, okay, nice size piece of cheese and salami. And I said you could pick 2 of those up for about $6, or you could go next door to McDonald's and grab yourself a Big Mac and gag on it and have, yeah, okay. So that's what I kind of think. Okay, Melissa, hello. So think about what you got going on. Most towns have a convenience store too. So if you get somewhere and maybe the concession stand like this isn't good, run to the convenience store and see what they have. A protein bar or something like that is better than blowing yourself up and having a super duper high blood sugar reading or whatever. Hello, Cindy. Yeah, they do. Careful with the fruits though. Like I said, a lot of those do the watermelon and the pineapple and stuff like that. And I think Dave had a few pieces of watermelon's okay. He had a little too much watermelon over the weekend. And I think it kind of affected him, but you have to know what your body reacts to as far as the fruits are concerned. If they're strawberries, the berries and things like that, it's not a bad option. But anyway, so like I was saying, guys, either plan ahead, stop along the way, or choose the best possible option when you get there, okay? Now, I need to finish my hot dog. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Tuesday. If you need to be in my group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave, for this recipe, for the rhubarb salsa. Oh my gosh, guys, it's amazing. Just amazing. Clementines. For some reason, I think they're high, but I would have to do some research, Sandy. Send me a message, please. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Tina. Hey, Lee. Send me a message about clementines. I'll do a quick little Google search in between innings here and get back to you about that. I am not positive on them, okay? So, but recipes, tips, tricks, ideas. I do post information in there about, what the carb counts are and say different fruits, different things like that. Things to use for flours, things to use for sweeteners. And if you ever have any questions, guys, drop them in the comments. I'll get back to you. If you need to be in the group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave, for this information and so much more. Drop group in the comments. I will leave you a link. You can get over there and request to join, or you can just run on up to the Facebook search bar and type that in, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. And you can request to join from there, and that will get you in the quickest, okay? Good job, Sandy. Thank you. Any questions, drop them in the comments. And if you need information about those duos that I was talking about that changed our lives and still are changing them to this day, info in the comments and we'll chat. Okay, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Need to get on out of here, finish my dinner. I can't even talk anymore, so it's time to get off, okay? And enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, guys. Smile. Pass that doggone smile on, okay? See you all later.